The world, as we knew it, ended when the Great Mutation redefined the very essence of human DNA. Zichin opened his eyes to find himself staring at a ceiling he hadn't seen in decades. He realized he had been reborn into his 5-year-old self back at the dawn of the mutation era. In his past life, he was a failure who struggled with weak mechanical implants and rejected gene therapy. But this time, a digital interface flickered to life before his eyes, announcing the arrival of the Infinite Evolution System. The system offered a path no one else took, the cultivation of a pure human body without any external modifications. While other kids were dreaming of beast-soul fusions, Lin began his secret daily regimen of thousands of push-ups. His parents thought he was just an hyperactive child, unaware that his muscle density was surpassing adult levels. At kindergarten, he met a shy girl with striking blue hair named Shenqing. When a group of older bullies tried to steal her lunch, Lin Zichin stepped forward with a cold gaze. With a single flick of his finger, he sent the leader of the bullies tumbling backward into a sandbox. From that day on, he was known as the Kindergarten King and the unofficial guardian of the blue-haired girl. Years passed, and the world grew more dangerous as the 3 major power paths began to solidify. The Beast Path used animal genes to transform, granting massive strength and primal instincts. The Mechanical Path relied on cybernetics and high-tech weaponry to bypass human limits. Lin Zichin, however, continued to refine his cells, reaching the iron blood stage of pure human evolution. He reached middle school, maintaining a facade of mediocrity while his true strength was already off the charts. During a mandatory physical exam, he had to carefully suppress his energy to avoid breaking the testing machine. Shenqing, meanwhile, showed surprising talent in gene compatibility, attracting the attention of top scouts. A local gang tried to kidnap her one evening after school, thinking she was an easy target. Lin Zichin appeared from the shadows, his hands in his pockets and his eyes cold as ice. The thugs laughed until Lin moved so fast that he became a blur of blue light. In 3 seconds, all 5 kidnappers lay unconscious on the pavement without knowing what hit them. He walked up to Shenqing and wiped a tear from her eye, promising her that he would always be there. As the high school entrance exams approached, the competition for the elite classes became fierce. Lin knew that to protect her in the future, he would need to enter the best academy in the country. He began the second stage of his evolution, the Jade Bone Refinement, which required extreme physical pain. Every cell in his body was being rewritten by the system to reach the peak of human biological potential. On the day of the exam, he deliberately scored just enough points to rank in the middle of the elite group. Shenqing surprised everyone by ranking in the top 10, her latent talent finally blooming. They both secured their spots in the most prestigious academy, setting the stage for their real journey. However, Lin's system suddenly pinged with a warning about a nearby anomaly detected within the school. A hooded figure watched them from the rooftop, holding a device that hummed with dark energy. Lin realized that his peaceful days of hidden training might be coming to an end sooner than expected. He tightened his fists, feeling the immense power surging through his pure human veins. No matter who they are, I won't let them touch her, he whispered to himself. The system updated his quest status to protect the Blue Rose, a mission with no room for error. In that moment, a massive explosion rocked the orientation hall, sending debris flying everywhere. Panic erupted as students ran for cover, but Lin Zichin moved toward the fire with predatory grace. In the center of the smoke, a monster that shouldn't exist in the city stood tall, its eyes glowing with a viral red light. Lin stood before the creature, realizing this wasn't a random attack, but a calculated test of the Academy's defenses. If he revealed his true power now, he would lose his peaceful life, but if he didn't, Shenqing would be in danger. He chose to strike, his body breaking the sound barrier as he lunged at the beast's throat. Just as his fist was about to connect, a strange barrier appeared, and a voice echoed through the hall, welcoming the chosen students to their nightmare. The shimmering barrier rippled like liquid mercury as the mysterious voice faded into the buzzing of the fluorescent lights. Lin Zichin retracted his fist, his eyes scanning the crowd of panicked freshmen for the source of the hidden speaker. Beside him, Shenqing clutched her training bag, her face pale, but her eyes reflecting a growing inner resolve. A tall instructor clad in charcoal gray tactical gear stepped through the barrier, his presence radiating raw mechanical power. He laughed at the student's fear, explaining that the nightmare was simply the brutal reality of the Shanghai University elite program. Lin Zichin ignored the intimidation tactics, silently checking his infinite evolution system's progress in the corner of his vision. The system confirmed that his cell density was already 10 times that of a standard peak human athlete. As the classes were assigned, Lin purposefully suppressed his energy signature to rank just low enough to be overlooked. He realized that the university's resource distribution system favored the top ranks, but it also invited constant, draining challenges. Within the first week, Lin noticed a group of wealthy students struggling to maintain their rankings in the combat simulators. An idea sparked in his mind to leverage his hidden strength into a profitable business venture. He approached a desperate young noble and offered to win his next 3 duels in exchange for high-grade evolution crystals. The noble laughed at first, looking at Lin's seemingly average physique and lack of obvious cybernetics. Lin reached out and crushed a solid steel training dummy's arm with a single effortless squeeze of his fingers. The laughter died instantly, replaced by a look of sheer awe and terrified respect. Thus, the Proxy shadow business was born, operating in the secret corners of the campus underground. Every crystal he earned was split between his own evolution and accelerating Shenqing Han's potential. He guided her through the internal breath technique, a pure human method that bypassed the need for messy gene splicing. Shenqing felt her strength doubling every day, wondering how Lin knew secrets that even the top professors didn't possess. Meanwhile, Lin entered the combat arena wearing a mask, taking on a proxy fight against the reigning freshman champion. The champion swung a massive mechanical hammer, the impact cracking the reinforced concrete floor. Lin stepped aside with a movement so fluid it appeared like he had simply teleported. With a light tap to the champion's elbow joint, Lin sent a focused vibration that disabled the hydraulic systems of the hammer. The crowd fell silent as the invincible champion collapsed, unable to move his own limbs. Lin vanished before the referee could even call the match, leaving only the legend of the Ghost Fighter behind. Back in his dorm, Lin integrated the new crystals, feeling his pure human core reaching a critical breakthrough point. His skin began to shimmer with a metallic sheen before returning to its soft, natural appearance. Shenqing Han's progress was even more visible as she began to manifest a rare ice-blue aura during her sparring matches. She was quickly scouted by the Blue Frost elite squad, but she refused their offer to stay by Lin's side. This refusal drew the attention of the student council president, a formidable third year with a triple gene fusion. He couldn't understand why a genius like her would waste time with an unranked student like Lin. An announcement blared across the campus, summoning all students for a mandatory survival training camp in the Forbidden Forest. Lin knew this was where the real danger began, as the forest was a hotspot for both mutated beasts and radical cultists. He checked his evolution level one last time, biological tier, rare, stage 4. He found Shenqing by the transport ships and gave her a small, hand-carved wooden pendant. It was actually a high-density kinetic battery he had fashioned to protect her if he was separated from her. As the transport ships took off, the sky over the Forbidden Forest turned an unnatural, sickly shade of violet. Lin sensed a presence on the ship that didn't belong to any student or instructor. A hooded figure in the shadows of the cargo hold clutched a symbol of a twisted, thorn-covered plant. Suddenly, the ship's engines groaned and died, sending the vessel into a terrifying freefall toward the heart of the forest. Screams filled the cabin as gravity took hold, and the students scrambled for their emergency parachutes. Lin grabbed Shenqing's waist, his feet locking onto the floor as if magnetized by sheer physical force. Through the window, he saw thousands of glowing eyes opening in the darkness of the trees below, waiting for the feast to descend. The silence of the night shattered as the first student screamed under the canopy of the mutated forest. Hundreds of green-robed cultists emerged from the soil like parasitic ghosts. Shenqing Han immediately drew her frost-edge blade as the temperature in the clearing plummeted. Lin Zichin stayed in the shadows, his eyes scanning the layout of the enemy's formation. A giant mutated vine, thick as a bus, slammed into the center of the student camp. The class instructors tried to form a defensive line, but the cult's toxins began to blur their vision. Shenqing Han leaped into the fray, her ice-blue energy slicing through the wooden armor of the attackers. Despite her skill, she was being drawn into a trap by a rare-level cult elder hiding in the brush. Lin Zichin realized he could no longer stay hidden if he wanted to keep her safe. He stepped forward, his body moving so fast he became a blur of motion in the night air. With a single punch, Lin shattered a massive vine that was about to crush a group of crying freshmen. The shockwave from his strike cleared the toxic fog in a 50-meter radius instantly. The cult elder hissed in disbelief as his most powerful weapon was reduced to sawdust by a teenager. Lin didn't give him a second to recover, appearing directly in front of the monster's face. A simple palm strike sent the elder flying through 300 years of reinforced timber. From a high-altitude drone, the deputy governor of Shanghai watched the thermal spikes on his monitor with wide eyes. The signature wasn't mechanical or beast-like, it was the pure, concentrated energy of a human cell. Back on the ground, Shenqing finished off the remaining minor cultists with a flurry of ice needles. She turned to see who had caused the massive explosion, but Lin had already slipped back to his tent. The students huddled together as the first rescue helicopters hummed in the distance. Deputy Governor Zhao arrived on the scene personally, ignoring his guards to walk straight to the impact crater. He touched the edge of the crater, feeling the heat that shouldn't exist from a biological source. He ordered his team to find every bit of surveillance footage and to keep this discovery top secret. Lin Zichin sat in the back of a transport bus, feigning a small scrape on his arm to look like a victim. Shenqing sat down next to him, her eyes scanning his face for any sign of the power she had felt. He just smiled and offered her a piece of chocolate he had saved from his rations. As the bus drove away, the forest remained a graveyard for the cultists who dared to hunt the pure human. Back at the headquarters, the governor reviewed the data and identified Lin as a rare-tier anomaly. He knew that if he could cultivate this boy, Shanghai would become the strongest city in the Federation. But the plant god cult was not truly defeated, only pruned back for a new season of growth. Lin Zichin checked his system notification, seeing his pure human evolution progress reach 90%. He felt his bones becoming denser than diamond, his heart beating with the rhythm of an ancient engine. The era of gene-fusing monsters and cold machines was coming to an end. Shenqing looked out her own window, vowing to become strong enough to truly stand by his side. The training camp incident was labeled a natural disaster to avoid public panic. Lin knew the Shadow War was only beginning, but he welcomed the challenge. He had protected his friend, secured his status, and kept his secret intact. With his evolution nearly complete, he was no longer just a student, but a guardian of the human race. The true power of a pure human was finally ready to be unleashed upon the world. In the end, it wasn't the genes or the steel that mattered, but the unbreakable spirit of the boy who refused to be anything but human.